Sleeping during the night is dangerous. Mankind's survival is underground. The surface belongs to the Dream Eaters.
So once again, thank you so much for competing in the 48-hour film challenge. And you really are a filmmaker. I love the posters in the background. I love those films in the background.
Yeah.
I just want to say I love your film. I love the concept of it. The operative word, the key word for me is mesmerizing. So I just want to ask, my first question is, how did you come up with the concept for this, and how long did it take you?
Well, the concept, the concept. I guess I have to give credit to a short film called La Jetée, which I first saw in film school when I was like maybe a freshman or sophomore. I think I was a freshman. But yeah, it's a French film. It's actually like what any incarnation of 12 Monkeys is based off of. And La Jetée is basically a black and white short that's compromised of completely like photography. So, everything is just, photography, and then it's being narrated by a narrator, and it's about time travel and things like that. And I've just had such a, I don't want to say obsession, but like it's just, I guess I have to call it like my favorite short film of all time. And I've had this kind of inclination to kind of replicate something like that. And I guess this challenge was a good opportunity to do that because, for one, being a one-man crew, I could just plop the camera somewhere, get in front of it. I mean, it's not that easy, focus and all of that. But essentially, I could like plop a camera down, do whatever I got to do in front of the camera, and then in post, I don't have to worry about like the camera movement or anything like that. I could just freeze frame it, and boom, we've got a series of photos that tell a story. So yeah. And then the theme was horror, so I was just trying to come up with some kind of simple story. I have a few props from like past movies I've done, so just trying to incorporate that stuff. And yeah, I came with a pretty I hope scary story.
I think you did. Once again, I thought it was mesmerizing. And what I'm hearing is you've paid homage to your favorite short film and used the props from previous films. So really great ingenuity to utilize what you had at your disposal. And also just, all right, how am I going to make this work as a one-man band? So that segues perfectly into my next question, which is, what was it like working as a one-man band?
Um, it was what you would expect. I guess it was pretty difficult. Um, and also, living with family members and stuff like that. I just had to be. I tried to keep everything in my room, and then the requirement was the bathroom. That was like, I live downstairs with like three other people, so I gotta wait when this person's not using the bathroom, et cetera, et cetera. But besides that, all the technical stuff was just, it was just a little bit difficult, trying to get the focus, and I was kind of off a few times, so my shots aren't perfect. But I guess that could be expected. But yeah, like trying to pull focus. What helped out a little bit was I have a monitor, so I had the monitor set up and flipped it so that I could see what would be on screen. But yeah, exposure was off a lot, which I kind of got away with because the movie's in black and white, and like grain is always expected when you're trying to go for like a vintage black and white type of thing. So even when I boosted some really bad images that were underexposed, it kind of went with the whole motif of the film. So yeah, it was. I guess it was more difficult than it was convenient, but it's doable.
Yeah, I guess you made how did you come to that decision to make it black and white? And really, how long did it, once again, take you in terms of coming up with the concept once you had the required elements? So two-part question. How long did it take you to come up with a concept for your film in terms of hours or how many hours? And like, walk me through that thought process of like, I'm going to make this black and white.
Yeah. So the black and white was a really easy decision because going back to La Jetée is in all black and white. So going, if I'm paying homage to that, it's like, okay, well, yeah, black and white. What I tried to, whenever you're doing homage to something, you don't want to completely copy it or just rip it off. So in the short, there's these kind of like flashback moments. So I figured, okay, the flashbacks will be in color to kind of not only like separate what I'm doing from La Jetée, but also just emphasize that visually to the viewer whenever they see it. When they see the color, they're like, okay, well, this is something else. It's kind of like in She's Gotta Have It as well, when they have the kind of like dance sequence. The whole movie's in black and white, but then the dance sequence is in color. The filmmakers obviously trying to let you on to something. As far as the story, I don't know. It was horror, so I guess I was really just thinking about what horror tropes I could go through that would make this the easiest. And I guess one of those tropes is kind of like, not overexposing the big creature or something like that. Noises and things like that. And in regards to the requirements, were those really difficult? The name was weird. The name was weird. It was also a little difficult to kind of figure out how to incorporate like the batteries, and then the line is just still 2020. That kind of inspired the whole thing of like, okay, this is gonna be like 2 years in the future. So that way, when he's thinking about the past, it could be something where he's like, is it still 2020? Because the world has just been so shitty, he can't even keep track of time, that kind of thing. But besides that, after the meeting we had on Zoom, it was pretty, I don't know, the story kind of just flowed. I kind of had like a through line, and then within that through line, I just tried to drop in every requirement where I could. And again, depending on what the requirement was, the story adjusted. Like I said, the 2020 line, okay, I'll make this 2 years in the future. The batteries, I was like, I have a Super 8 camera here. I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe he goes outside for the batteries. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to show anything outside, so, just skip to like, he got fucked up going outside. And yeah, and then I was like, okay, let's just make the character's name Linguini. And I thought it was a cool line too, him saying that it sounded like the creature was howling his name. So yeah, hopefully that answers. I feel like I was everywhere with that answer.
You answered the question thoroughly. I thought that was well said. And my very last question is, if there's anything you could have done differently, what would it have been?
Man, if I didn't wait so long to do that bathroom scene, I probably could have gotten it in on time. Yeah, I probably should have done the bathroom scene like first thing, Again, that's like, my room is my room. I can shoot in my room whenever, but like the bathroom, I just had to wait for people to get out the bathroom and things like that. So I probably should have knocked that out as early as possible and then been over with that. So I actually used my iPhone to shoot that because I couldn't bring like a whole camera set up in there. So I just like propped up my iPhone somewhere and made it work.
Awesome. So I'm hearing you use your Super 8, your iPhone, and what else?
Well, I didn't use my Super 8 to shoot any footage. It was
Right.
just like a prop in a movie. But I just
Right.
used my A6000 and the bathroom scene was my iPhone 8.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, David, thank you so much for a great conversation. And just like with horror, thunder in the background, very ominous. I enjoyed your film, and I hope everyone else did too. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I was pretty anxious about that movie, but I appreciate it, guys.